Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me Morphsuit America and I'm playing on the Korean Dragon Blaze. However, in this video I'll be going over Miyu Mk5. If you haven't seen my other playlists talking about Transcended Allies, the beginner playlist, the daily dungeons, or the other overlords, then I'll leave all of that in the description below. But when it comes to the overlords, I'm gonna try to make sure that I cover most of them before more overlords come out. So yeah, enough of my chit-chatting, let's get started and let me go over her abilities, talk about what she's good in, and give you guys my final thoughts at the end of the video. Miyu Mk5 is a rogue character. Her focus is around DPS, and if you don't know what that means, it's damage per second, just a fancy way of saying that she's a damage dealer. Her damage type is physical and melee, and her support is physical base. She does not have a gauge like Overlord Ban. Miyu's normal attack is a single damage physical melee. Deals damage to one enemy and bleeds it with 90% damage per second for 9.4 seconds. This can stack up to 5 times. And once again, if you have cooldown reductions on your weapon, this will change the cooldown effect, or the seconds. Miyu's first active skill is a single damage physical melee. This deals 3028% damage to one enemy and it increases its incoming physical damage by 82% for 16.4 seconds. Cooldown for this is 12.1 seconds. Her second active skill is a self buff. Stealth for 13.5 seconds. During the effect, increase self-attack by 120%, attack speed by 72%, and cooldown for this is 19.4 seconds. And her last active skill is a single damage physical melee. Deals 3124% damage to one enemy. For 10.4 seconds, every Miyu Mk5's attack upon the enemies will be a sudden hit. When hitting suddenly, deals 50% more damage with 100% accuracy and critical. Cooldown for this is 14.4 seconds. Miyu's first passive skill is a self buff. This increases self-dexterity by 220% and self-heals by 9% of dealt damage. Miyu's second passive skill is a self-buff, and it increases self-single target damage by 77%. During normal attacks, gives targets that has been debuffed with 5 bleeding debuffs from normal attacks. Another debuff that prevents healing. Her third passive skill is a self buff that increases self boss damage by 195%. Also detects stealth enemies. And lastly, her max skill is a self buff that increases melee damage by 135%. Also, Active 3 also increases self attack by 155%. Miyu Mk5 excels in Erebos, Erebos, Arena, and tag matches. She's alright in guild battles and in Revenger Belphegor and Sybaris. When it comes to the other modes like Golem, Sybaris, Sharia, Guild Adventure, and Guild Siege, she's not actually up there. There's a bunch of other allies that can excel well in these modes. But strictly speaking, when it comes to Miyu Mk5 overall, she's just very, very handy for PvP. And I'll give you guys my final thoughts in a few seconds. In my opinion, Miyu Mk5 really didn't surprise me as much, and I don't regret making my choice because I just wanted to make Miyu Mk5 because I can. And I kind of wanted... Yeah, and the reason why I made her was because I kind of wanted to do more PvP stuff, but yeah, I kind of knew that she would be great in PvP compared to all the other modes because she's a rogue character. Most of the rogue characters are good for PvP and they don't really excel well in PvE stuff. Granted that there are some rogue characters out there that were great for doing both modes, but Miyu Mk5 right now, she's not up there. But if you want to make her, that's on you. If you want her for PvP stuff, then that's fine. If you want her as a waifu or someone to have, that's fine too. If you're gonna collect all the overlords regardless of how good or bad they are, then go ahead and do that because the retention system is gonna be very handy. But let me talk about her character design and also give my opinions about that. Now, obviously I gave you guys my opinions about her actual technical her technical benefits when it comes to gameplay. Now let me talk about her design and her name, cause that's actually bothering the fuck out of me. And by the wording of "it's bothering the fuck out of me," I'm referring to the name, not the actual character design. Obviously this is a fantasy world and we were going to get our cat people. Now, if you paid close attention to some of the character designs of the previous characters like Ravengale and also the priest character, you would have seen some animal characteristic on them, like some sort of animal ear on top of their animal ears on top of their heads. And the proper terminology I'm gonna use is calling them a demi-human. Now, if you don't know the difference between a fairy and a demi-human, I'll have a little scale or a little representation of something on the screen right now to, you know, give you guys the huge difference between the two. Don't confuse the damn terminology and don't confuse someone that's half human and half animal with a fucking fairy who is... I don't know what the fuck it is, but yeah, that's different from what you're seeing on the screen right now. And of course for the character design, it kind of, you know, I like it. I'm not gonna complain about it. Wow, they jiggle. Anyways, ah shit, why did I say that? Anyways, yeah, pretty much that, her appearance, her outfit, her like posture, his gesture, reminds me of a cat. Slightly. But a tad more aggressive than the normal house cat. And if you're wondering why it's not the pink hair, it's because I'm using the alternate costume that, I don't know if it was a limited time only, but it was through a GM event that you could have done to get these secondary outfits. I don't know if you're able to get them again, but it's up in the air, and hopefully they'll give us some, other outfits later down the road, question mark, like swimsuits or fan service. Or some holiday outfits. Anyways, let's get back on topic and let me talk about her damn name, because this is bothering me. Now, obviously she is a cat person, or something of that sort. Now, why did they decide to call her Miyu Mk5? Is she a clone, or is she an android? Why did they call her Mk5? What happened to 1, 2, 3, and 4? Why Miyu Mk5? This will bother me because I kind of want to know about her now. You don't name someone a Mk5 unless something happened to the previous versions and, you know, there's some sort of robot or, once again, android or whatever you want to classify a demi-human into, a robot. But yeah, that's pretty much it before I start repeating myself and I'm all over the place again. So let's wrap this up. And that concludes this video, so hopefully you guys have more insight about Miyu Mk5. Hopefully this helps you if you still want to get her or you may not want to get her, and etc, etc. And, you know, put it down in the comments below if you like her character design or if you want to know more about her, or like if you have her and if she's great for other modes, and etc, etc. But yeah, pretty much that's it. So thank you guys, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.